One thing I've been thinking about recently is the idea of being self-conscious. And it's an interesting term, self-conscious. I think what most people mean by that is when we're being self-conscious, we're kind of concerned perhaps about how we might be coming off or how other people might respond to us. So it's the term is different than the experience that I think most people use it to mean. I mean, if I was self-conscious, I would be conscious of myself, which is a great thing to be conscious of different aspects of yourself and conscious of this moment, conscious of your experience of yourself, your sense of identity, your ego, your not ego, stepping outside of your ego. So for me, that's what being self-conscious would be. But the way the term is usually meant is more the experience of, oh, I'm feeling a little conscious of how I'm coming across, how people might be responding to me, or how people might potentially respond to me. Very often, I think when we're self-conscious, we're thinking about the future and perhaps how we might behave and how somebody might respond to that. So I have a question. If you ever find yourself being self-conscious, I'm curious who the other is in that experience. Who are you imagining having a response to your behavior? You know, is there an audience? Is there a particular individual that you're imagining responding to you in a certain way? And also, what's your response to yourself? How do you respond when you do well? How do you respond when you don't do so well or don't do as well as you might have hoped? And are you holding a certain standard for how you should or need to show up in the world? Is it okay to just show up and just be as you are? Years ago, I was very curious about people who were comfortable in their own skin. That's another expression that I love. And I noticed in my own experience that there were times when I felt comfortable in my own skin. And there are other times when I didn't, when I felt very uncomfortable or self-conscious, like I'm describing. And I find it really interesting to reflect on what's happening in those different situations. And I spoke to a colleague of mine back then, and my feeling of him was he was so comfortable in his own skin. And what he reported to me is he really didn't worry so much about what other people thought. So I'm curious, again, sort of a question is when you're not feeling comfortable in your own skin, is it your reaction to yourself that you're concerned about, or are you imagining someone else's response to yourself? Again, who is the other that you're imagining? And are they worth putting in that position of the critic in your life? Or would you like to imagine perhaps other people on that panel of people who are judging or evaluating your behavior? And is it okay to give them a day off and give yourself the opportunity to just be in the world without a critique from other people and without a critique from yourself? So I'm sure I'm going to come back to these topics of being self-conscious and also being comfortable in your own skin or not. But that was what was on my mind today. So that's why I spoke about it.